Hello everyone, this is Pragya. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So I'm a 28-year-old woman who has newly become a mother. My daughter, I have a baby girl and she's just 3 months old. So I'm just a very new mom, very new to this. And I'm also a digital marketer by profession. I said also because motherhood is also a full-time job. Apart from that, I am trying to establish myself as an influencer, creator, blogger. I'm here to talk about my pregnancy journey. I'm here to talk about my skincare routine. I'm here to talk about my body bath and body care routine. I'm here to talk about my regular activities with my daughter. I'm here to talk about what are the products that I use for my daughter, what are the do's and don'ts, how my experience has been throughout my pregnancy and postpartum and everything in a whole basically. I am talking about my pregnancy journey. That would be my first video. It's very special to me. Got to know that I was pregnant during Durga Puja. It's an Indian festival. I think the whole world by now is aware of it. So on the 2nd of October last year, that is 2022, I figured that I was pregnant. It was ecstatic. I was really happy. I was spellbound. I was having a baby. We went to the doctor, got ourselves checked. I say ourselves and I talk like we because it's us that we were pregnant. And then the journey started. Every day was a new beginning, it was a new day. I was excited about the changes in my body. It definitely took a toll over me. It definitely did. But then I also enjoyed it. I wouldn't say I didn't enjoy it. I did enjoy it. I think the people around me didn't enjoy it quite well, but I did. With the hormones all over the place. So talking about my first trimester, I did not really quite eat anything. The only thing that I used to do was I had a lot of hajmolas, a lot of digestion pills, and those are very sour and spicy sometimes. So I kept all of that. Oh my god, my mouth is watering. I don't know for what. So yeah, I had those pills, like bottles with me. I would only eat that. I had some dal and some lady's finger, like bindi. And I would mix it and only eat that. So I couldn't eat rice. I couldn't eat any staple food. I couldn't eat anything. I was just, eating that bowl of dal. And then I was just sleeping, napping, I would rather say. I was just napping. And the feeling of throwing up, nausea wouldn't go away. I hated that. That was the only thing in my first trimester. I hated the feeling of nausea. It wouldn't just go away. It was continuously there throughout. No, I did not puke at all. I did not vomit. But then the nausea got the better of me. I couldn't eat. I just napped. And it was like terrible for me. And the mood swings were still setting in. It wasn't really there at that point of time. So I had a little complication. I would like to talk about it. So one morning I just wake up and I saw I was bleeding. So I think spotting is natural. But then I was actually bleeding, so I got really paranoid. I spoke to my doctor. I was advised to go do a USG immediately. So I went, I did the USG, and I was taken aback. For the first time, I heard another heartbeat, and it was beating so rapidly inside of me. I had tears in my eyes. It was surreal. I will never be able to explain what I felt in words. I wouldn't. So I had a little subchronic hemorrhage, not in the fetus, but just opposite to the fetus. So which is why I had the bleeding. So immediately I just packed up my stuff and I said I'm going to my dad's, because I just needed that love and affection and care. Though my mother-in-law and everyone's very loving here, but then I needed my dad, and I just ran to him, and I was there completely bedridden. I was under bed rest, I would say, rather, not bedridden, and I was healing, and that little baby was growing. I was healing and she was growing. So every week, so every Saturday was my milestone. So every Saturday I would just complete a week, and I would just do something little to give myself, or something little for myself, to just to pick me up, kind of a thing, that okay, I've completed another week of it, of going through that. So yeah, like that, the first trimester was gone and the second trimester started. In my first trimester, I would also like to point out, your body becomes tight. So my hips and all started becoming tighter. My teeth used to bleed at times. So these were the little things. So I had a lot of hair fall at that point of time. I practically thought that I would go bald, though I have long hair. So, and yeah, that's how messed up my first trimester was. It was very messed up. I can't say I have enjoyed it. The only good part was that excitement, that someone is inside me, and every time I have my grandmom, so my father's mother, so every time I would ask her that, when am I going to feel any movement inside, what is happening inside, and she would tell me these stories that, it's just like a tiny little ball of blood, it's becoming, so all the stories that, they generally tell you. So I used to hear that and get really excited. So yeah, and then slowly I moved on to my second trimester. That was a great and a huge milestone for me. The nausea really went down, and boy, I started to eat. Though I didn't really eat chicken, I couldn't stand the smell of it, but I did start eating a lot. I used to get so hungry. I never napped, but then there was fatigue. I used to feel fatigued most of the time, but I did not really stop eating. I ate so much. There's something that I want to point out. So at first, in the first trimester, I really liked to eat salty, sour. I never really ate anything sweet. But then from my second trimester, I ate so much sweet, so much of it, that my doctor said that I'm nearly diabetic. But that wasn't the case, but I really ate a lot of sweets. So in my second trimester, I can't stop telling you this, that I actually ate a lot. It was like the honeymoon phase of my pregnancy, my second trimester. Yeah, the bumps started showing a little. I could feel those flutters in your stomach from one side to the other. Very exciting, very different experience than what I was experiencing in my first trimester. My doctor visits were very interesting for me. Because doctor used to put that gel in that machine where they could hear the heartbeat of the baby, and I would lose a lot of hope at times, and that was kind of a lot of positivity, that you gotta cheer up for that little one that's growing inside you. You gotta be happy, you gotta be positive, you gotta be all things positive. So that was there. In this whole process of it, I actually went through a lot emotionally, I would say. Given I've been just talking about my physical part of what I was going through physically, but emotionally I actually went through a lot. You see is beautiful, being a mom is beautiful, but accepting yourself as you grow bigger, as your body starts changing, the way you look at. I remember in the beginning I had a lot of marks on my cheeks, that was very demotivating. I never had one single mark on my skin. I never used any skincare. Still I didn't have any mark on my skin. But then when I was pregnant, my cheeks, every morning I would wake up with something or the other on my cheeks or my forehead or something, and I was heartbroken, why am I going through this? Then my hair, half of my hair would come off, I was having severe hair fall. So all of these. So why am I telling you all this is because whatever you see on Instagram or digitally on social media, whatever you see on social media, I don't think you should just reminiscence with it. I think you should see it, you should appreciate it, and then it's all about how you feel, what makes you feel good, what makes you feel comfortable, what do you think is good for you. I don't think you should be believing, or not just, it's a wrong way to put it, it's not about believing. Of course you believe it, but then you don't put yourself there, don't make yourself go through that. Because I used to see all those, and even now when I see those influencers and creators and bloggers, and they are like chilling in the beach of some exotic location, wearing a bikini, flaunting their bump. No, I couldn't do that. I just couldn't do that. For a long time I could not accept that I have a baby bump. I would wear very loose clothes for which people wouldn't understand that I'm pregnant. So it's it's a two-way mind. So I had a continuous conflict inside my head. A fight was going inside me, whether I should accept that I'm pregnant and just accept all of it or not. And even if I didn't accept it, I had nothing much to do. I was in on it, and I have to give birth. So I stopped going to the social media, because that was actually hurting me emotionally. There were a lot of things, the way they would portray a husband-wife relationship, a good relationship, a toxic relationship, and everything. It's just a mess. It just plays with your emotions. It just plays with your thoughts. So I stopped going on social media for a while. I thought it's best that I concentrate on food. I concentrate on people. I actually want to understand experiences firsthand. So there's one woman, who actually helped me a lot. I think my daughter, she also has a daughter. I would name her and tag her too. Malvika Satlani. She's an influencer, and her journey throughout her pregnancy and my journey is kind of similar. So she and her daughter and my daughter, I think they are 4 days apart. So I thought that I would be having a son, and she thought that she would be having a son, but then we both ended up having daughters. That's what she said on her videos and all. But then every day I would wake up to just see her videos, because that she was the one coming out openly with all her problems and solutions, and good days and bad days. And I think that's what you should see, not the veiled things that you actually see and believe and try to be or crib about it. So I think it has to be very natural of how you feel, what you feel. That's what should be shown. That is exactly why I thought that I would just come and talk about it. Though I did not film my pregnancy at all. I did not film it. I did not talk about it on social media, nothing. I just observed other people doing so. So I think so that was it. That was my second trimester. It was my honeymoon period, frankly. And then I entered my third trimester. And when I did enter my third trimester, it was again, though I could eat a lot of things, still not eating chicken or any kind of meat, but then you get heavy, you can't really walk, you have a lot of pain, you itch like a monkey, there's a lot of sweat, you feel like your skin is burning, and yeah, it was like, I just want to give birth. Is it the day already? I just want the baby to come out because the baby is moving too much, and I am not really a tall woman. I'm really short, and my tummy was huge. My stomach was really big. The doctor thought that I had too much water. The baby has grown really big, but none of that happened. Everything was normal. Everything was fine. The only problem was I was short. My height was the problem, and my stomach was really big. So I just wanted to take the baby out of myself. I think if a lot of moms sees this, they might take it in a very wrong way, that I actually am talking about being separated. But then the pain, your pelvic muscles feel like, it's just carrying something really heavy, which it is, and I just wanted the baby to come out. I just want to give birth, and I really wanted a normal birth. Though I had zero tolerance to pain, but still I wanted a normal birth. But my doctor didn't really leave me a choice. But I think I thank my doctor for that, because seeing people having a normal birth and then episiotomy and all of that, I could not have gone through it. I could not have gone through it. I know myself, I couldn't have gone through it. I think yes, C-section has its own pros and cons, but then I couldn't have gone through a normal delivery. I was really wishing, praying, talking to my doctors that I want a normal delivery, but trust you me, after listening, hearing, seeing, no way I could have just gone through a normal delivery. Thank God that I have gone through a C-section, and it has its own pros and cons, and that's how my baby was born on the 14th of May 2023. I think baby also wanted it to come out, frankly, on my entire third trimester. I could not sleep at night. The first, second, third trimester, had I filmed it, it would have been more apt for me to talk about it. But then if I have to talk about my birth story, I would definitely have to give you an insight of my first, second and third trimester. So I just gave. I know there was a lot of unwanted information or whatever, but then I still said it. Now coming to my birth on the 14th, though my date was 3rd June, then the doctor said 21st June, and then 3rd June, then the doctor said 21st May, but then I couldn't wait any longer. I had to be operated because my baby was moving too much and I could not even breathe. I was feeling really sick, and so the doctor said that I have completed my full term and the baby is ready to pop. They immediately took out the baby, and she said it's a girl, to all of our surprise. And then she was crying, I was crying, my husband was crying, everyone was crying. It was a very emotional moment, but then I cannot explain in words what I felt. Like, I just can't. Like, they gave the baby on my shoulder, I think here, I just can't. Like, so I don't have my mom. I lost my mom 12 years back, and I always had that feeling of incomplete, a huge void in my life. So when I felt her, touched her, in the last week, I think I was very eager to meet her, and that's pretty natural. You feel like that. Meet her, touch her, hold her, feel her, smell her, I don't know what not. So when I actually felt, I actually could not hold her, but then I felt her, there was a sense of complete. I kind of felt complete. I kind of felt that void was filled somehow. have horror, I think, and there's a full stop. I have horror, and that's it. I will be talking about my postnatal, my journey of breastfeeding, my journey of holding her for the first time after having my senses back and everything on my next video. So you have to stay tuned for to eventually come to know a lot about me in the next videos. Stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe on my channel, hit the bell button so whenever I put up a video you get notified. And that's about it. Thank you so much. Hope to get a lot of love on this video. Do follow me on Instagram. I'm there on Instagram as Sunset with a Dream. Subscribe, hit the bell button, and yeah, see you.